Hi, it's been a while. I usually let the story speak first, but tonight is a bit different. If you're here from Vixen After Dark, you already know my voice. You've heard me narrate, whisper, linger in the shadows. But those of you who don't know me, I am Ipsha, the voice behind the stories and the brain behind the chaos. And I thought it was time I stepped out from behind the veil just a little. By day, I work a full-time corporate job. Meetings, dashboards, deadlines. The kind of work that requires logic, structure, and control. All from the same familiar corner of my home. By night, sometimes I write. Sometimes I tell stories. Sometimes I build worlds that don't quite behave. And sometimes, after a long day, I just want to rest. I live in Kolkata, a city that never really sleeps and never quite lets you forget its stories. A place where chaos and poetry somehow coexist, where noise can be comforting and silence can be suspicious. On quieter nights, I like warm lights, coffee that goes cold because I forgot about it, and letting someone else do the storytelling for a while. Watching films or series on OTT platforms, listening to audio stories on YouTube, sinking into narratives instead of creating them. I'm endlessly drawn to superheroes, the paranormal, the supernatural, horror, and mystery, in any language. And yes, I will happily read subtitles if it means the story is good. And every now and then, I'll surprise myself by getting emotionally invested in a K-drama, a J-drama, a Thai or a C-drama. The soft, romantic kind, completely different from my usual taste, and yet somehow fits. I've always lived between those two versions of myself. The practical one who survives the day, and the imaginative one who refuses to sleep unless a story is finished. And somehow, for the past month, I've been balancing both, with very little sleep but a lot of intention. The last few weeks have been busy, in the quietest way possible. Days filled with office work, nights filled with notebooks, scripts, edits, ideas that refuse to sleep. And also, it's been ridiculously cold, which somehow makes everything slower, heavier, and more introspective. But somewhere between all of that, I realized something important. I didn't stop creating. I just started creating differently. If you've been wondering where I've been or why things have been a little quieter, it's because I was working on something new. A new segment, a different kind of space, something that didn't want to wait for a season. That's how a new world came into existence. Well, I could tell you the name right now, but where's the fun in that? These are independent stories, meant to be experienced on your own terms, sometimes in one sitting, sometimes slowly over time. Stories that don't wait for seasons or episodes, stories that arrive whole, restless, and slightly unsettling. Stories that sit at the intersection of folklore, the supernatural, and modern life, where the ordinary cracks just enough to let something else look back. And just to be very clear, Vixen After Dark hasn't ended. That world isn't done speaking yet. Season 2 will definitely return. Some stories need time, some need distance, and some need you to step away for a while before they're ready to be told again. I wanted to make this video not just as an update, but as an introduction. Because behind every creator is a person juggling work, creativity, exhaustion, excitement, and still choosing to show up and create anyway. So whether you've been listening quietly or you've just found this channel, I'm really glad you're here. And if these stories have found their way to you, if you've enjoyed spending time in these worlds, you can support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. It helps these stories travel a little further and find the people who are meant to hear them. More stories are coming, some familiar, some very different. And now you know who's telling them. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. I'll see you beyond the veil. Until then, stay curious, stay awake, and stay in the shadows.